Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Jamie, aka Rick here, bringing you part 41 of my GTA4 Let's Play. In this episode, I've just got out of Pegorina's house after he spoke to me about, killing either Ray or Phil, because he kind of feels that his power's slipping away a little bit, so he's got to prove to everyone that, he's still big time, or at least he thinks he is anyway, so, eventually I'll get a call from him, and he tells me to take out Ray. Tells me where to find him, so I'll go there, follow him around for a bit, and eventually they stop it off at a gas station, so I'll pull out the RPG and make quite easy work of it, so it's not as difficult as I thought it would be to start with, so it was a bit, I wouldn't say disappointing, I'd say I'm quite glad that it didn't take that long, because I don't really like car chases, so it was quite nice to actually get it over and done with quite quickly, so that was nice. And then I get a phone call from Michelle's employer, and they tell me to go and pick up that helicopter that I stole again, and little Jake will be there waiting for me. Basically they want me to shoot down another helicopter. They don't tell me why, they don't tell me who it is or anything, so they just literally tell me to go and take the helicopter, shoot this other one out the sky, but they don't want any civilian casualties, so we have to follow it until it's over the water, and then little Jacob hangs out the door and takes it down, so that's pretty cool. It's a pretty good mission. More helicopter flying. I'm not the best at it, but I do pretty well. And after that, what happens? We go and see Mr. Gravelli for the first time. Is someone that it's the first time come in the story, so another family leader, but he's actually, he's quite big time. But he's terminally ill, so that's obviously never good. So he's in the hospital in his bed. But he asked me to go and escort some public speaker to this, a meeting basically, where he's gonna give a speech. So some people don't want him there for some different reasons. They don't want him to give this speech, so I have to get him there safely, and I do so. It'd be a bit easier if I could take the helicopter there, but because I still have it at this point, which is quite funny. But yeah, it'd be a bit easier if I could take the helicopter, fly him in that, but have a little shootout in the street, I think. But I get him there safely, so can't complain too much about that. So yeah, that's what happens in this video. But I'm gonna be talking about building a PC in this episode. So something that I didn't even think about doing before I started college, really. So my college, it was an IT course that I was doing, and they taught a wide variety of topics. We done a bit of programming, obviously, then we done basic spreadsheet work and all that sort of stuff, web design, and then as it got on, it got a bit more complicated. I done advanced programming, I done some Java web design as well, which was pretty cool. And then we done a hardware part of it, so the first year it was taking them apart, how to build a computer, how they work and all that sort of stuff. Done some practical and that, taking apart and reassembling. And then in the second year we done some troubleshooting, you could say. We were given a problem in the computer and we had to try and solve it. We had to try and figure out what was wrong. No, I really enjoyed that, so it just made me think that maybe I should build my own computer, so I think it was oh god, what year was it? It was 2011, I think. No, not 2011, 2009, I think, maybe 2010, I'm not sure. No, it was January 2009 that I done it, so it's quite a long time ago now, but it's not hugely outdated still. It still runs pretty well for how old it is, so I want to do some upgrades on it soon, but we'll come to the specs a bit later on. I just want to kind of go through, that if you are a gamer, I'm sure a lot of you have already built your own computer, but for those of you who haven't, it's definitely recommend doing it, because it is really fun, and you kind of guarantee that you've got a computer that is going to work, because obviously you've bought all the parts yourself, you know what's in it. If you build it yourself, you know how it's built, you kind of know more about it. Whereas if you go to a shop and buy a ready-made one, they're going to be overpriced. You don't know necessarily if the parts are all really like tip-top condition. You don't know who it's put together by, you know, if they done it properly or not, you know, all these different things. I'm sure like 9 times out of 10 or 99 times out of 100 you'll get a perfectly good computer if you buy it from a shop, but there is that chance that, you know, something was done maybe rushed or, you know, not done quite right. So obviously that's not what you want when you're buying a expensive computer. And again, I go back to the fact that they're overpriced, ridiculously much so. Mine, like, to get the equal specs for mine, you'd have to pay a good, probably over £2,000, because some of the computers, like in PC World and stuff like that, for what they're so expensive. It's ridiculous. Like, you could get easily the same specs for half the price of most of the custom or the like high spec PCs in PC World and stuff. Because to start with, I was just going to buy like a ready built one, and you know, I started looking at prices. And when we done a unit at college, like we had to build a computer. When I was doing that, I just thought, you know, I'll have a look, see what the prices are like to get a decent spec computer. And it turned out to be a lot cheaper to do it yourself. So, you know, I hadn't done it before like that much. I'd taken the odd CD drive out here and there, you know, basic stuff. But I mean, with a little bit of college work and some help from some college friends who were there, you know, one of them had actually done it before. Well, they both had, one more successfully than the other, but you know, I mean, we had them over, bought all the parts, you know, tried to buy one a month from my wages from work, but sometimes obviously I couldn't afford it, or I bought maybe cheaper parts. I bought 2, like 1 month I think I bought like a CD drive and a hard drive, because obviously they're not super expensive. I think that was like 60 quid for the pair, because I only bought a really cheap drive to start with, because you don't need an amazing drive to start with, you know. And I wasn't sure like then whether I'd need Blu-ray or anything, because I didn't have a HD screen or anything. So to start with, I didn't have anything like amazing. When I was buying the parts for my computer, I just had a laptop, a decent one, or not decent, it was alright, and a TV screen, which is basically it. And I used to plug the TV screen into the laptop, you know, so I could have the 2 screens then. So I bought another one, or a monitor version of the TV, which I've still got now. It's not very good, but so yeah, I basically had that really basic setup of like a laptop and a monitor screen. And then, you know, as I bought the parts, you know, they started stacking up on my desk, and you know, it looked, you know, I was getting really excited at this point, because obviously it was close to me finally getting that decent computer that I've always wanted since years and years ago, when I first got my computer, like a really basic one at the time, but it was such good fun. I got it for Christmas, me and my brother, it's a shared present, and you played it all the time. Like, we got like Bomberman, I think it was one of the first games we got for it, and like Worms as well. I mean, they were proper good, like at the time, because we'd never played anything like it before. Before that we had like a PS1 or something, so it was a different experience. So ever since then I wanted to have a really good computer and play all these games that you can pick up on an Xbox and play on a decent PC and have the beautiful graphics and everything that you can get. So I thought, you know, why not? So I got all the parts together over the few months. It took me probably about 6-7 months to buy them all. Added some Christmas money into that, and then, you know, in the January half term, I think it was, we you know, I got my mates over and we built it. So, you know, that was an awesome experience, because obviously I'd done it before, you know, I'd taken things apart and all that, but I'd never, like, it wasn't mine. This one, it was a bit different, because, you know, I knew once I'd finished it, I could turn it on and use it like every day to play games on and stuff. Even do college work sometimes, I will admit. But, you know, it was that satisfaction of knowing that you've worked hard, you know, you spent all this money buying all these parts, and once you put them all together, you know, you have this beastly machine. So that was good fun. And as I said, I definitely recommend doing it if you're into PC gaming, and you know, you've always thought, or even if you haven't thought about doing it before, I'd definitely recommend giving it a shot. Even if you don't, you know, you haven't had any experience of taking apart computers or anything, you can easily get some guides on the internet of how to do it. And yeah, it's logic based really. You know, you look at the piece, it's got this certain slot in it, and you look on the motherboard and there's that same slot, so it's pretty simple stuff, but you know, it's good fun. So now we'll jump into the specs a little bit. Start from the bottom, obviously, or with the case. So the Antec 902, it's not their best case, obviously, like the 1200, I think it's the full tower case that they do, and it's a lot better. I think it's a lot bigger, obviously, and it's got a removable motherboard tray as well, which is pretty cool. The 902 doesn't have, so it's a bit awkward getting the motherboard in and everything. Obviously you haven't got as many cable management options as you do with a 1200, but it's a good 50 odd quid cheaper, so might have been a bit more than that actually, might have been like 70 odd quid cheaper. So at the time I didn't have much money, so I thought I'll just get this one. It's still good, you know, still got 4 inbuilt fans, a possibility for like 3 more, so still pretty good, and you know, it looks awesome, so you can't complain about that. And then motherboard, again, like wasn't top of the line, but still pretty good. It's an Intel Extreme motherboard. I can't remember the exact like number for it and everything, but again, I was trying to get parts that looked nice as well. Kind of went with the rest of it. So it's got like where the PCI cards and that go in, and the RAM chips and everything. They're all like blue. They go with the blue LEDs on the, you know, that case and everything. So I kind of went with that look for the whole thing, so I'm sure you can guess some of the mouse and keyboards that I've had just by, you know, black and blue, but we'll get to that in a bit. What else? Obviously it said basic LG CD drive. It was like a tenner, something like that, and planning to upgrade that to a Blu-ray one soon, and just so I can watch some high quality video DVDs and stuff on my computer as well. It's my PlayStation, because I don't always have that on, so that'd be nice to get the Blu-ray graphics on my PC, which would be pretty nice, and obviously it'll read quicker as well, which would be awesome. Processor, so it's pretty old, but it's still really impressive for how old it is and everything. So the quad-core Q9550, I think it's called. So it's a beastly processor. It was like 150, 200 quid, I think, when I bought it, so that's a lot of money. I mean, for the processor, it's probably one of the most expensive parts, I think, of the computer, along with the graphics card, which is always going to be quite expensive. So, but yeah, still not having any problems now, and I'm playing obviously games at 1080p, really fast, like really good FPS, and it's not struggling at all. It can handle encoding the video and me playing a 1080p game, so I mean, it's pretty good for the age it is. It was pretty much top of the line when I bought it, so, and it was recommended from a friend, so I mean, soon enough I will upgrade it. I'm thinking of doing like revamping my computer, and in a few months, probably after Christmas, redoing most of it, not all of it, because I've, you know, added bits in as I've gone, so not all of it needs upgrading, but a couple of bits do. I probably will change the processor and the RAM as well, because at the moment I've got 4 gigabytes of OCZ Gold Edition RAM. It's super nice, looks good, and it runs pretty good, but I could definitely do with you know, a bit more. So 4 gig isn't that much for what I try and do with it. It probably would help multitasking a bit more, because obviously encoding the video and you know, doing other stuff as well. It, you know, sometimes it tanks a little bit if I try and watch, say, a YouTube video as well and then play a game. It does struggle a little bit. I think that's the RAM mostly, more than anything else. But no, mostly if I'm just doing like everyday stuff, it doesn't have any problems whatsoever. It doesn't struggle with any games that I try and play. So, but still, I would like a little bit more, so I can do that. You know, more heavy multitasking, because you can't really have a video encoding and just sit there and not being able to do anything. It's a bit annoying. I still like to do everything that I normally would do if that wasn't up encoding. So, you know, soon I'll get those upgrades. Might go for like a good 8 to 12, something like that. I've got a 64 bit OS, so I could easily handle the double dual channel that my motherboard can hold. So I'll probably upgrade that soon. As I said, after Christmas probably. I've recently upgraded my graphics card, which it was a GTX 260. I'm from Nvidia. It wasn't the best. I think it was a dodgy one anyway, because every now and then it used to like freeze up, and the screen just went like a clear colour. It varied from like green to a dark shade of pink to sometimes blue. So I don't know. I don't really know what was wrong with it. It wasn't the temperature at all. It was still quite cool. So I don't really understand why it was doing that, but there might have been a faulty card, or it might have just been, a bit slack. A lot of people that I know, when I asked them about it, they said it wasn't the best card, but at the time it's pretty nice. But now I've got a GTX 460 instead, so gone up a little bit, and it's the MSI one with the really nice looking heatsink on it. It's got so yeah, it runs so cool, and it's really fast as well, so it allows me to have those really nice graphics. So that was a fairly recent upgrade. It's a couple of months ago now, I think it was. I got it really cheap as well. It was about the same price as I paid for the original one, so I was really happy with that. Really good, really nice upgrade. It's nice when you can buy cheap parts that run really nicely. I've got two hard drives, or two internal hard drives, one external. The first one I bought was a 750 Western Digital. It runs super quick. It's 32 megabyte cache. I think it's like 7,500 RPM, so it's pretty quick. And then after that, I bought a 1 terabyte Samsung hard drive. This is when I was first thinking about doing the YouTube thing, quite a few months back. Yeah, so I thought I'd buy a bigger hard drive, obviously, because I couldn't just run off a 750 with all the footage that I get. So I bought that, installed it nicely, and yeah, that's my Fraps drive for every bit of recording I do, every like voice as well. I record all my live commentaries onto that hard drive as well, so it's all in one place. And I have filled it up once when I done a lot of recording one day. I think it was the day I finished off GTA. I played for a good 5-6 hours, I think it was, recorded all of it, so that pretty much filled it up. So but gradually I've got it down from doing these commentaries, so it's all good. It's pretty empty now. I need to do a bit more recording soon. I've got a day off tomorrow, so I'll probably do it then. What else? It's a Titan heatsink. It's one they don't do anymore. It's like Fenrir, I think. They still do it, but it's a different colour now. I don't really like it as much. The one I've got is all silver, so silver and black. Whereas the one they do now is like a dirty brown colour. It's not that nice, but still, it keeps that CPU really cool, and never had any problems with heat or anything. So I've got an 800 watt power supply. Can't remember who it's. I think it's OCZ again. It's like a silent one. Can't remember. It might be like Stealth Extreme or something like that. They have these weird names. But yes, it runs pretty quiet, and in the case, Antec case, it's got these like little rubber pads where the PCU sits, so you get no vibration from it, so it runs really quietly. Obviously a wireless card, because my router's downstairs. And that's pretty much it. That's literally what is inside my computer. I mean, as I've said, not much needs upgrading, probably just the processor and the RAM, to be honest, and the drive, obviously. But other than that, it's pretty much where it needs to be. I mean, I might obviously have to change the motherboard if I change the processor, which, won't be the best. Be a little bit of work for me to do, but it'll be good fun. So yeah, probably bring you a little update, maybe a vlog even when I do that. So yeah, and then as I said, external hard drive, I've got a 500 gigabyte passport from Western Digital, which was for my college work, but now I use it just for random stuff. It's got most of my portable games on it and stuff like that I used to play at college. But yeah, and then still got my college work on it, and just random videos that maybe I saved on there. And then I've got 2 TB external, which I've saved every single one of the videos I've made to, and some other stuff that I've downloaded at random times is on there. So that's pretty nice. Still got a huge amount of room left on that one. So, and peripherals we'll go through. I used to use my Turtle Beach X1s from my Xbox, but now I use Rocat Caves, I think now. Yeah, 5.1 surround sound. They're pretty nice. Got the Rocats, like Tato, I think it is, mouse mat. It's absolutely enormous. It's bigger than my my monitor actually, which is pretty ridiculous. I've got a BenQ 22-inch monitor and a Samsung 19-inch monitor, which I want to get rid of. So it's pretty horrible. It's quite old now, and its basic resolution is that weird, like, it's like a 768 resolution. I hate it. It's really annoying. But the main one, 22-inch one, is 1080. I want to get a 26-inch monitor at some point as my main one, which you know, again after Christmas I'll probably buy that. So I used to have a Razer Def Adder, but now I've upgraded to a Razer Naga, which is a lot more beneficial for me since I play a lot of MMOs and stuff. I've got Razer Lycosa keyboard, which looks nice, like feels nice when you type, but it's a bit temperamental. I've had a couple of the keys go at certain points, and a couple of the keys like get stuck, so they're always typing, which is really annoying. But at the moment it seems alright. It hasn't failed recently, which is quite good. I got some cheap Logitech speakers, you know, just for times when I, you know, fancy playing a little bit of music in my room, not through my headset or anything. I've got a Thrustmaster steering wheel, which I can use on my PS3 as well. That's pretty nice. Play some Test Drive Unlimited and Need for Speed on that. It's pretty cool. And obviously I've got Windows, or the Xbox 360 wired pad that I use for a lot of games. I used it for the whole GTA series, so it didn't feel right using a mouse and keyboard for that. And obviously my Blue Snowball microphone, which in metallic silver, looks pretty nice. So yeah, it's pretty much my whole setup right there for my PC. So yeah, this video is overrun by a few minutes, which you know, you'll see a still of the outro probably. So yes, just a quick run through of my computer, and yeah, as I said again, if you haven't ever built one, go for it. I would, if you can afford it. Definitely, it's a good experience to, you know, to have, and it's a nice thing to say you've done as well. So you feel quite good about it once you finished it, and once it's up and running all these, you know, everything you've always wanted, you know, a computer for, it can handle. So it's a good sense of achievement. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.